Welcome everybody back to the video. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a decent or good defense. Bear with me in terms of my voice. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm getting sick or anything, but my voice is just not having it today. So let's get right into it. So there's going to be some screenshots put up right now on the screen. I'm showcasing you some of my friends' defenses, such as Derpis, and some friends from my guild, YGGY. So also I will show you my defense as well. So I do believe if you have at least a 15% or above, it's a good defense. I think it's okay. It's really good. It's good enough. Because for the amount of times you do get hit, it's good enough, right? I think over 15% is good enough, especially if you are in Legend or higher up. So mine's currently 13.6. Again, I'm just getting farmed by number 4 and just everyone else, right? I've been hit by Lucera, but of course they already know how to beat my defenses and all that. So it's a little bit different. Because they already know what to do. Same thing with number 4, he already knows how to beat my defense, so therefore he's going to keep hitting me, and it's 3 points for them, right? But overall, in terms of everyone else that I've been showing you screenshots of, they are within the top 30 and top 50-ish. Obviously, Derpis is rank 1. We do have, I will be showing you the names as well. We do have, where are you at? Vigny, we do have him as well, and we do have Verut. Roman, again, all good mates here, all really, really good friends. And then we do have Vyro. I don't know if he's currently in Legend, but I'm pretty sure you know of him, Vyro's. But yes, those screenshots are from those players, that's friends and all that. But let's get right into it. So in terms of making a good defense, I'm saying this right off the bat. If you have ML Ilinov, you can make a really annoying defense with her because she's just absolutely insane of a unit. So I don't have Ilinov, right? You don't need her. I'm saying this right now. You don't need Ilinov. But your life is just much harder to really make a decent / good defense without her, right? If you don't own her, it's kind of difficult, right? That's why I was really happy with my last week percentage. I'll show you that after this. But again, if you have this character, build around this character, right? Such as Derpis, he has a Luna, Yufine, Ilinov, and a Hua Young. This unit right here is the key component. Yes, Luna's very strong and all, but this Ilinov is absolutely stupid, right? Because she has the penetration resistance, which is basically 30%. And then she has a cleanse on her S3. 2 debuffs. Again, it's just annoying. This unit is absolutely insane. I said it many times before. I think Ilinov is the problem with Arena. Not problem, but she is a must-have. She is literally the must-have unit for Arena. But Harsetti is whatever. Harsetti is literally useless. You don't even need her. I said it right now, you don't even need Harsetti. Harsetti she could have just been whatever, right? But Ilinov is just absolutely insane of a unit. Next, so that is the key point. If you have Harsetti, if you have Ilinov, I do recommend build a defense around her 100%. Next is going to be talking about the builds. Now, before I show the builds real quick, I don't care if I show my defense or not, but let me show you last week. So my last week's defense rate was about 19.8 and in the week. Very, very good. I like that. That's good enough for me. Again, as long as you have a 15% or over, I think that's really good. As you can tell, my first week I had a 4.6%. That's absolutely terrible. I'm fine with at least 13 plus, 15 plus, whatever. That's where I like it at, right? So last week was really good, 20% basically. But now let's talk about the builds. Now, first thing, if you have the speed gear for it, you are absolutely going to get a lot of defense wins, right? Because you will be outspeeding the cleavers and all that. So if you have like a 310 plus Briar, 315 plus Briar, if you do run a Briar defense, because she is easy bait cleavers right there, which is what Vyro does have. If you have that type of gear, then you're good. You can pretty much cheese the cleavers. So basically, before you decide a defense, decide, do you want to mess with cleavers or do you want to mess with turn 2 players? That's extremely important here because there's no way you're going to be countering both of them. Now, yes, you could just say, oh, this defense number 1 can counter both cleavers and slow players. Yes and no. It's more towards cleavers, right? Because again, I'm not gonna say the builds for his team. I'm not gonna say the builds. I'll say for my team and all that. But I'm not gonna say the other players' builds because of obvious reasons, right? But this defense specifically is countering more towards slow play cleavers. Now, it could counter slow players, but it just really depends on what they really bring into it, right? Because some slow players can still lose. It just depends on their type of gear, right? So decide there. My defense, it can counter both ways, either slow or cleave. Well, let's get right into why my defense can actually do that, right? Now, again, you can say, oh, it's lucky territory, whale territory. I got extremely lucky that I got 2 of these units, right? So, Luna, I have 2 Lunas. 2 of them are built. One is the one I mainly use for my speed, cleave, and whatever. And then the other Luna is just going to be the slow Luna with effectiveness and compass. So, pretty much, whenever I switch it up, I do put this Luna on there, and it basically destroys all the slow players. It really does, because they usually bring Celine or something else that's extremely weird. Trying to just, or even Acades, the ML1, Handguy and all that, ML Luluka, DJB. If you just have a slow Luna slower than them, it basically you win the game just off of that 100%, right? So keep that in mind. I have 2 Lunas built. So ideally, you want to go towards either a slow build or a faster build. Again, usually if I want to cut cleavers, this will be the Luna that I run for it, right? But I don't run just this. I also run a 280 BBK. Because again, that defense specifically, I wanted to cut the the cleavers and all that, right? I wanted to cut the fast players, the cleavers and all that, because it's free wins pretty much, right? So let me do this real quick to show you this, the 280 BBK. Normally I run this BBK with Sword Art. Again, very, very good. It catches the cleavers off great. But again, people will catch on to it. But the thing is, they don't know every time they hit me because I keep switching them out. So you're coin flipping every single time if you're going to hit my fast team, BBK, Luna, and Lilius, or they're going to hit my slow team, Luna, Lilius, and all them being much, much slower than they were originally, right? So my Lilius, I do bump up to like 290 on the fast build. I'm not going to show it now, but I do fluctuate between the builds, which again is really, really good because you want to decide, do you want to mess with cleavers or do you just want to cook all the slow players? Yes, you are still going to lose. There's not a perfect defense in the world. This is just basically showing you defense 101 in terms of what you could really do to increase your defense percentages. Being very, very nice in terms of gimmicks here is extremely important. If you could run something one-off, that'll be very, very good. So let's go talk about Roman real quick, Varuk. Let's talk about him specifically. Like I said, there's a lot of steps in it. Speed is one of them. If you have the speed gear, you can just outspeed everybody, right? If you have like a 315 plus Briar, Luna, Politis, and all that, you can destroy a lot of players. Even if they take speed imprint, there's a chance you could RNG them. And just the fact that there's a chance to RNG them, you're eventually probably going to win one, right? Which is still nice to see. So keep that in mind. Now, let's go talk about Varuk's defense. Where you at, buddy? Where you at? So he has a hard steady. Now, I did say a hard steady is kind of useless. I don't really like her as a defense, but it's been, you can pretty much zeal a Harsetti defense. But keep in mind, there are still some Harsetti defenses that are extremely good versus the classic cleaves, such as Zio, Frida, BBK, and Brysaria. This is one of them, because if you don't kill them with BBK, or if you RNG somehow with your BBK going first instead of Brysaria, like me, because I don't have Renewed Will, nor do I have the Young Senya's Artifact Max, if BBK goes first, usually there's a problem if sometimes I don't kill them if they are tanky enough. So keep that in mind. Some Harsetti defenses are still extremely good. Just keep in mind you have to kind of make it kind of annoying for cleavers to really deal with. Varuk's defense is a good example. It's a really good defense. That's pretty good versus Zio cleavers. If the BBK cuts in front of the Brysaria, right? Of course, there are still times where you get the perfect setup and Brysaria goes first, and then you just lose. But if BBK goes first, then it's kind of complicated, right? Sometimes you can still lose that. But overall, that is pretty much going to be the gist of it. Keep in mind, gimmick builds are very, very extremely huge when it comes to defense. So let's say you run a Harsetti. Make sure she has like 300 effectiveness, or make sure she's like 300 speed. You really need gimmicks for arena. You really need to have on certain builds, weird builds and all that. You really need that for arena, 100%. Because if you don't have that, you're just going to get run over like I did the first week of arena. Again, when I actually started touching my builds and all that and changing it, it is how I start seeing more wins, as you can see. But again, like I did say, your gimmicks and speed gear are really, really important into this. Again, if you don't have the speed gear for that, and if you have Harsetti, try to build a defense around that. Try to build a defense around Harsetti. Again, that Mort, Senya, is extremely disgusting because if they are tanky enough to survive a BBKS3, you are pretty much in the clear. Keep that in mind. You could also play around ill enough if you do have ill enough. If you are a slow player, there's a lot of defense you can do. Just, you gotta do some gimmick builds with it. Now, yes, it's gonna cost gold, but that just determines in terms of how much you really care for your arena defense, if you care about it, all that. Because if you don't care for it, then it's whatever, right? But there's a lot of gimmick stuff you could do for arena that I do recommend. Like I did say, 2 builds is one of them. Like I did showcase in my stat video, I have 2 BBKs, 2 Lunas, 2 Watshuris, 2 Villagers, and all that. Having 2 builds of a unit, again, if you have the Molagor to do it, it's 100% worth it. If you don't, then don't do it. But do keep that in mind. That's pretty much how to build a defense 101. Again, first step, if you have speed gear, you can play around that. If you have Eleanor, you can play around that. But if not, you're going to have to do some gimmick builds. Like I did just show you in terms of my Luna. If I have a fast Luna, I have more than likely my 280 BBK and 290 Lilius. If I don't have that, then I'm more than likely running my slow Luna with slow BBK and my full DPS Lilius. So keep in mind, this is a lot of good stuff for defense. There is a lot of good defenses right now. I actually like the meta. It's extremely versatile in my opinion, really. Especially with Para coming out. She kind of opened the door for a lot of good, not good, but just a lot of random defenses. It's quite nice to see. Yes, there are some rinse, copy, pasta defenses, but there's still a lot of different ones. Even the offense meta is extremely good right now in terms of arena. But again, I like it. I'm happy about it. It's in a good spot right now. But other than that, I will see you guys later on. Hope you have a good day, and peace out.